Second Sunday of Lent, Mark chapter 9 verses 2 to 10, Fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time, Cycle B. The community's Action and Solidarity and Association Jesus Solidarity invite you to listen to the Living Gospel. The second Sunday of Lent, let us meditate on the Gospel according to Mark chapter 9 verses 2 to 10 with commentary from Father PatxiLoidi in the voice of Rosa Ocampo. Proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to St. Mark. Jesus took Peter, James, and John and led them up a high mountain apart by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became dazzling white, such as no fuller on earth could bleach them. Then Elijah appeared to them along with Moses, and they were conversing with Jesus. Then Peter said to Jesus in reply, "Rabbi, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He hardly knew what to say. They were so terrified. Then a cloud came, casting a shadow over them. From the cloud came a voice, "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." Suddenly, looking around, they no longer saw anyone but Jesus alone with them. As they were coming down from the mountain, he charged them not to relate what they had seen to anyone, except when the Son of Man had risen from the dead. So they kept the matter to themselves, questioning what rising from the dead meant. The Word of the Lord. Father Patxi's commentary. Dear listeners, Happy Sunday, happy day of the Lord. Some of you will justify yourselves by thinking that the 3 apostles also did not understand Jesus. And how did he stay so calm? It was really hard for them, years and centuries waiting for a warrior and glorious liberator. Yet an ordinary man appears, although he spoke like the poets, said unforgettable things about God, and gave a dazzling testimony. He's nothing of a warrior or glorious liberator, but quite the opposite. The truth is that the apostles were mistaken, and they could not believe it. Jesus took the 3 most difficult men to the mountain. It was the 6th day, alluding to the 6 days of creation, to show them that all he brought was the new creation. First appeared Jesus, full of white light, with the 2 greatest characters of the Old Testament, Elijah and Moses. Peter was happy, and so were James and John, and their hopes were reborn. Then the cloud enveloped them, the thunderous voice from above struck them, and the 2 great characters of the Old Testament disappeared. And the 3 of them were left alone with Jesus, scared and thoughtful. This is a passage full of symbolism, the magnificent composition of the evangelist who wanted to open their eyes and ears because the voice had said, "This is the only Messiah and no other." Do they understand? Shortly after, we see that James and John were again asking for the first places in the triumphal kingdom of Jesus, and that Jesus was explaining patiently to them and to the others that everything about him is completely different. Do we understand him today? We read the passage without knowing its symbolism, and we continue to expect miracles, apparitions, solutions from on high, prodigies of extraordinary popes, and other miraculous and media characters. And we don't understand, or don't want to understand, that the gospel is raised above all with humble jobs and again the status quo, danger like that of Saint Arnulfo Romero, which ended in his martyrdom, and that of countless other unknown but extraordinary Christians. Let us listen today to the powerful voice of God the Father. This is my beloved Son. Let us listen to him and not to others who present themselves as the true envoys. Prayer. The Holy Mountain. I would have been happy there, Lord, with those disciples hiding behind it, looking at you with greed, drinking faith for 1,000 years. I would have opened both eyes more often to photograph you in my pupils and contemplate you whenever I went, and receive the strength of your light, the heat of your fire, the powerful voice of your Father in the cloud of mercy. But it could not be. The most rebellious were the winners. What merits did they have apart from being hard of head? What merits, Lord? Don't we deserve for ourselves, men and women of this hard century, a ray of your light, a spark of the luminous mountain? But you leave us in the dark shadow of this world, whose brightness is a pale reflection of your holy mountain. And you shout to us, "Blessed are those who have faith without having seen me."